Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children of all ages.
We're not the D-Generation X Outlaws, but we are the first and last hit show on the Blog 105 Radio. I am your host, Mac Dubs, and to some which way is my host, AJ Wichita. And we also have our new co-host for today and tomorrow's shows, Landon Rank. Let's bring him in. Landon, how's it going, bro?
Hey, happy Friday, guys. Done with school now on a summer break, and it's the first Friday of summer break.
Look at you rocking that ESPN shirt, huh?
I know. I'm hoping they're going to be calling me soon after watching my first podcast last Monday, guys.
Yeah, we'll I think they'll be calling you soon after the show airs on radio too, man. So
yeah.
But
hopefully
today we've got
don't forget about us now.
But today we've got a very good friend of ours.
One of our favorites.
My favorite. The Cowboy himself, Robert Wilson.
Well, good evening to everybody. How are you?
Doing all right.
There's the legend, the myth. There he is.
Mostly the myth. Or myths, I don't know.
This man is so legendary. Landon, to give you an update, play with your toy here. To give you an update, you are talking to a cowboy a legendary cowboy, even more legendary than Billy the Kid.
Just not as historic yet.
Soon to be.
This guy's more legendary than the most. He has more arrests than Cooper Hayes, the legendary cowboy outlaw.
Yeah, well, if the cops would have caught me, that'd been true.
Robert, how you been, man?
I've been really good. I mean, life is. I've been it's better than I've ever been in my life, actually.
I will trade you. I will trade you right now.
But the biggest thing I've done is that the outside world doesn't matter. Because everything that's going on out there is for in here, and it comes from in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I finally got there to understand it.
Yeah. I think the last time we talked to you, we were just a podcast and a YouTube show. Now,
yes,
we are a radio show, and we are building our own network. And so we are making big moves.
Yeah.
Good for you. Landon, how are you?
Hey, Robert. Nice to meet you, man. I'm doing great.
You too.
Robert, this is the one of the people we signed to the network here, and he just did his first radio show last week, and it airs this Tuesday.
5
coming up at 5 p.m.
Good for you, Landon.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
I mean, he's been a very big asset. I mean, I have never met somebody who knows so much about sports at his age. It blows my mind every time we get him in here talking about sports. So, I mean, to have him on the show being our sports analyst has been absolutely.
Landon, are you going to go tutor the rest of them on ESPN? Because most of them are clueless.
That's what I said. I mean, I'm going to take Stephen A. Smith's job in a while. He needs to
stop. If you tell the truth, understand what's going on, you got it.
I mean, I hate Stephen A. Smith. He always makes the worst takes on teams. You know, you can't do that when you're.
Who's worse, him or Nick Wright?
I mean, I watch Nick Wright's show. I kind of like Nick Wright better. I'd say Stephen A. Smith's worse.
Yeah, well, I don't like either one of them. You know how you can tell when them two are lying?
How?
They were thinking.
You see. I mean, just where the sports analysts and where the right now sports TV is in a place that, you know, there's a lot of sports analysts out there, and there's a lot of different shows that are popping up all over the place.
I'll tell you what, there's a guy by the name of Brett Whitefield and Joe Marino, Locked On Bills. They got a lot of good. They're good people. But Brett Whitefield, he understands the draft better than all them CBS and all the rest.
Yeah, they don't. I don't like the draft analysts most of the time. They always are like, they always make bad predictions. I mean, it's so hard to predict the NFL draft. You don't know how players are going to develop and how they're going to end up in the draft. And I think it's
let me ask this: how do you think Caleb Williams is going to do?
I like his fit. I like his fit in Chicago. I don't think we've talked about that yet on the show about Caleb Williams. But I really do like where he's at in Chicago. I think, Chicago's a rebuilding team right now. They're going through some changes, obviously, with the quarterback. Obviously, I'm very disappointed to see Fields not work out with them. But I think Caleb Williams is surrounded by a team that's growing. I mean, they opened up the season horribly last year and ended up doing well the last part of the season. So offense, they're gaining some more weapons, but their defense was pretty solid last year.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the national analysts give him time to screw up and mature a little bit before they think he's a Hall of Famer. Because he's going to go through the rookie.
Yeah, everybody does. I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm looking forward to Bo Nix.
Usually the one they pick to do the worst does the best.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Like, I mean, you look at like Patrick Mahomes, he was like a 15th, 20th pick. I feel like the quarterbacks that get picked in the first round in the lower 10s to the early 20s always end up being the better quarterbacks.
I agree with you. So what do we want to talk about tonight?
I mean,
it's
whatever suits you guys. I'm down.
Yeah, whatever suits you guys. I mean, we're an open book tonight. I mean, we ain't talked to you in so long. I mean, we're always. I mean, all three of us are usually coming up with new things on the fly, and it always seems to run together.
Yeah.
Well, I do have one thing I want to share with you.
All right.
Why are your fears? Why are your fears your subconscious mind security guard?
Ooh, that's a good one.
But say that out loud. Why are my fears my subconscious security guard? See what you feel.
Why is my? I don't know.
I don't know. And hold on, before you tell us, Landon, this guy, it will hit you with the most
deep.
You know what? I already like this guy. I mean, Mac, we've been talking about motivational speaking and about deep thoughts. I mean, I love that in that business.
And I'll see everybody say you'll never conquer fear, because once you say conquer, subconscious mind puts up a wall. You're not getting there. But if you can take it and that's why it's being my security guard, the subconscious mind stays quiet. And all the little mini movies, then you can unlock the closet door and let the fear out. It takes the illusion of fear out. That's what it does. It alleviates it.
It's just like my football team. They got down because we keep losing to the certain team. They're like the number one team in the city, and they're like, well, we're gonna keep losing to them. I'm like, yeah, you will with that confidence. And
well,
like,
that as soon as you say you're gonna keep, you did. But what that does is allows you to know all fear was to protect you. Because when that fear was embedded, it was to protect you. And a lot of it happened between the womb and 5 years old, because everything, you have no filter from the womb to, well, actually more than that, but womb to 5, everything your parents said or said to you went straight into the subconscious. And it didn't miss a word or anything. You did, but it did.
Now think of this one. Oh, go
ahead.
And
the thing about this is the past is in the book. You can write history in a book, but the past is present moment in the subconscious.
So real quick, we want to say hi to Amy for joining in. Thank you for tuning in and checking out the show tonight. So shout out there.
Hey, if we have some time, guys, during the show, I actually, on the last day of school, I gave a speech. It's something I've done since 4th grade, and I have a video of it that I could show you guys. It was probably my best speech yet. I actually got people from other classes that I didn't invite to come and watch my speech, so it was a pretty good last day of school speech.
For sure, dude. For sure.
Yes.
Hey, so
and see the thing about that with the dark, it's that inner dialogue you have, that little con artist you have that talks you out of shit and into shit you don't want. I got the best one in the world.
He's got cowboy shit.
He's got a lot of shit. And that's what I mean. Silly, harassing, ignorant torment. But that's the thing. You know, when they say people want to go get over addictions and it's this and this, it's that inner dialogue that tries to talk you back to your comfort zone. It's taken me a long time. I've known I've had it. Everybody says make it inspired. Well, it's a present moment experience. Whatever's going on, if you're having something aggravate you, it's going to go right along with the aggravation. But if you have something good, it's going to go with that. It's kind of a temperamental little thing. But everybody says you want to say no to something. It's that inner dialogue. You want to expand out of this to expand, but that inner dialogue is trying to talk you back to one more time.
Yeah.
That's when you want to say no to it.
You know what? You know when they say never judge a book by its cover? What if the book doesn't have a cover?
Oh.
Then it's just full of ass. And then it's but there's something in that book still in the pages that's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
But that's something I've really awakened to is when it's different for everybody. But when I said, why are my fears my subconscious mind security guard? I just opened the door.
But Mac, you were onto something when you asked that question. It had me thinking, it's like, even an open book, so to speak, or a book without a cover, somebody can still pick up those pages and maybe read the first sentence or two and still judge it and say, I'm not interested, and the talking about books or being an open book or judging a book, even just something as simple as that can get into a very deep conversation.
Yeah.
So I said this. I told him, I said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. And at the end of the day, having fear could be a good thing because fear can be your best friend in a certain situation.
Yeah. I agree with that. The discipline of fear is very important. I think, when I look at like our generation that we're going through right now, the amount of the lack of self-discipline that a lot of my friends and the people around me have, and the amount of people that, everybody doesn't want to have fear, but at the same time, sometimes fear can lead to amazing things. And I think from from what I've learned growing up is just that, like, being that person that understands fear and being that person that embraces fear is what makes you stronger as a person. And I think that's what can help make you a better person every single day, is having that self-discipline and also being able to understand how fear makes you a better person.
Well, fear to me, I took the word fear out. Why am I apprehensive about this? And where's the wisdom in this situation? Takes the fear away. Takes a mini movie of fear out of your mind. But apprehensive instead of fear, you don't go into the habit of fear. But you can question. You're only going to question your way out of fear. You're not going to conquer it. You're not going to do anything. You're going to communicate with it and ask yourself questions to rise out of it. Because there's wisdom in that fear.
So, Robert, I do have a question, though. We talk about about fear. Is fear does fear really exist? And I ask that because there are some people that, I mean, if I'll use myself for instance. When I was younger, I used to do everything, anything and everything with just no thought of mine, no second thoughts, uh, no, I guess no fear, so to speak. Now, I'm more, I guess, self-conscious, more thinking things through. So, really, is it? Does it really exist, or is it something that we instill in ourselves? Um, is it a man-made or a human-made creation, or is it something that is absolutely a real thing that's out of our control?
Fear is mostly embedded from the womb to 5 because you have no clue it's there. And that's, but fear is an illusion once you figure out what it is. But you got to question it away. And if you use questions instead of trying to conquer it or trying to hide like you don't have fear, the fear will conquer you.
I think there's good fear and bad fear.
Well, now the good, there isn't so much fear. When it's good, it's a courage.
I would have said more of excitement, but courage is definitely.
Well, fear is the first event actuating rebellious energy.
Okay.
See, the thing about the world is we've been taught negativity runs the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest naysayer in the world is our thinking memory mind.
Mm-hmm.
And something I've really risen to, fear and all the stuff we do, we embedded. But the thing, when you say think and know and mind and knowledge, you go into memory. You go into yesterday. When you really open up to understand and image your inspirations,
Yeah.
understand the inspiration, comprehend the message, the wisdom or the insight, use wisdom over knowledge and revelations over thoughts, it shuts off that mini movie that controls our life. See, all of our fears are as mini movies of something it's an illusion of what we think happened and it controls our life. When you can understand most of your fears are illusion, and to me, fear is my spirit showing me my boundaries that I'm supposed to break out of. And see, boundaries are new fears. When people say you got to have set boundaries, all you're doing is setting new limitations.
Yeah. And if you're setting boundaries, then
What's on the other side of the fence?
yeah.
There's always more to be.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. Go ahead, bro.
No. You can talk, Mac. You're fine.
No, I was saying, if there's boundaries, how can you conquer anything if you're just stuck inside that fence?
I always say, you can set boundaries and you can set goals and you can say, hey, I want to do this. But once you reach that goal or once you reach those boundaries, always set new ones. You can never, you want to do a thing where you want to train for 10 weeks and then you do that. And then what are you going to do after that? I mean, like, you got to keep setting, the sky's the limit. There's even farther than that. There's really no limit, and just continue to set the bar higher and higher each time.
I don't use the word goals. I use the word accomplished outcomes.
Accomplished outcomes. That's a good way to say it. That's a good way.
Because one thing about an accomplished outcome, you get the reward. And something else, when I understand the path of enlightenment is never ending. When I hit that accomplishment, it's opened the door for the next path of enlightenment. What I've really tried to do is take every thinking, knowing word out of my life. And that way it gets easier. Because goals and all this stuff has your thinking, memory, knowing mind busy.
Yeah.
And a busy mind turns into stress. But a
True.
listening and questioning, you never get in a bind. 3 strongest words in the world are, well, the 4 strongest is the 4 elements. Then it's listen, being kind, and questions. The 4 strongest things in the world. Because when you're kind and it's a genuine kind, you have the courage to face your life. You can question yourself into things, and you can question yourself out of things. But you can also question and communicate away all the hidden dismay within yourself. And the thing about all this personal growth, self-help stuff is, it's a simple sentence. I liberate me from me, I'm free. Because everything you think happened in the outside world is a movie inside you.
Yeah, your brain goes crazy places. I mean, you think about a lot, like as when you're younger. I mean, what it goes through a lot of younger kids' minds is when you think about what happens outside of you, especially outside of friendships and stuff like that. You think a lot negative thoughts, and you'll think negative outcomes of what could be going on in the outside world. But when instead it's not actually as negative as you believe it is, and it's being deceived into that.
But once that experience is over, Landon, it's no longer an outside experience. It's a subconscious mind mini movie. Because you embedded it. But we've been taught to blame the outside world. Oh, I'm the best at that. Until I realized the outside world's innocent. I made it guilty.
That's a really strong point. I really don't know how to respond to that. Like I see where you have your point about the outside world. And how, when we're a lot younger, obviously we tend to be more self-centered, more thinking about ourselves and thinking, well, everything kind of revolves around me. But then once you get older, you kind of start to realize, hey, the world is more of a working business and this isn't all about me. And that, really when you think other people are thinking about you, they're probably not actually thinking about you in that moment. And I think we go through that a lot when we're younger is we think, oh, that person looked at me, they must be thinking about me and stuff like that.
I'm the most guilty one of that there is.
It's like you climb one mountain today, but to get to your next destination, you're gonna have to climb that other mountain sooner or later. Are you gonna do it today? Are you gonna wait and ponder on it and not go for it?
Yeah, I always walk down to my beaches. Never have to climb when I go to my beaches. I always go down because that means it's easier and I'm winning.
Robert, do you live? Where do you live?
Mesa, Arizona.
Oh my, that's where I want to live when I'm an adult. My grandparents, they have a winter house in Mesa, Arizona. Well, now they live in Apache Junction. They used to have a house right.
That's the next door.
Yeah. I love Mesa. I want to go to the University of Arizona State when I go to college.
Yeah, I like Mesa. I like the east side, but they could right on 3rd Street, they could just cut the rest off and let it float away.
Yeah, my grandparents used to live on the east side too. They used to live off. They used to live on the east side. They used to live off by the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. Is it the 202? Is that the highway?
That's the main highway going east and west.
Yeah, and it goes it's like a circle kind of.
It goes all the way around. Yes.
I remember going to Mesa very distinctly. That's where I want to live in the Phoenix area when I'm an adult. So
yeah, I like it down here. Even in August when it's 115 boiling water on the sidewalk, I'm okay. I remember putting them tire chains on that truck at 30 below, 35 below. I remember. My body goes, thank you.
Can you cook breakfast outside on the ground during the summertime?
I never tried it. There's too many ants and other little varmints that want to eat it.
I mean, I live in Colorado, and it's Colorado. People would actually be really special. I live in the Denver suburbs area, so I don't actually live in the mountains, but I live on the verge of the mountains. The mountains are probably the foothills are 10 minutes away from my house. And the thing that people forget is because we live in this valley off the mountains, about how nice the weather is here. Really, the mountains kind of protect us from a lot of stuff. And this winter, it was probably once under 20 degrees. I think we had 5 total times it snowed. And here in Colorado, it snows and it melts. You know, you go to school and it snows on the ground. You walk home and the snow's melted. It's really nice weather here.
Yeah, I lived in Colorado. I lived in Colorado Springs for 4 months when I went to electrical school. Colorado's got sneaky nice weather, but don't tell California.
It is. Yeah, people would think it would be cold. I mean, if you go out more west towards like Grand Junction, it is going to
Well,
be.
yeah, but that's on the wrong side of the mountains.
Yeah, that's like on the west side.
But that's higher. That's higher, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I only live at like Mile High. I only live at like 5,000 something feet, so I don't even live that far up.
Yeah. So what town what's southwest, southeast corner?
So northeast. I live by Boulder. I live in the Boulder area. I live in a.
Do you live in Golden?
In Boulder, by Boulder.
Oh, that's a beautiful city.
Yeah, so I live in Longmont, which is like a town that's like a little bit north of Boulder. It's about this little bit smaller, but close to the same size as Boulder.
Yeah, we haul drilling rigs out of Longmont.
Maybe that sounds about.
Back in the 70s.
They've had stuff. Yes, they've had stuff in Longmont with that. Yeah.
We went down there and got some jails and hauled them to Pinedale, Wyoming. And when we got there to unload the jail cells, they were prefab jail cells. Oh, guy come over and says, "We sure could have used them over the 4th. We'd have had them full." The boys come out of the mountains, and the guys come from the oil refinery. Them guys couldn't get along. It's the way he said it. But Boulder's a pretty city. I don't know if it's getting so growed up now.
It's getting a little bit interesting in Boulder. I mean, Boulder's so just close to the foothills. Like I'm a little bit farther back, but it's beautiful. Like they build like restaurants off the foothills, and like it's just like it's the craziest thing because the weather's so nice, and then you can just drive 15 minutes and you're in the mountains and you can go on the most beautiful hike of your life. I swear, every time you can find a new trail here. Like I'm from Iowa. I moved here 2 years ago from Iowa, and in Iowa, you do the same thing over every single day.
And one thing about Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, you can sit on the west side of the state, almost see somebody walking on the east side.
It's crazy. It's crazy about how far you can see. Like you can see here, even from Colorado, you can almost see into Nebraska, which is about 200 miles ahead. Like if you stand on the top of Long's Peak, which is the closest 14er does, you can see into Kansas. Like, and that's like 100 and something miles.
So, yeah, I grew up in South Dakota, so I know just what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from like the Iowa City area, so University of Iowa. So I'm a Hawkeye fan.
So you're kind of in the east side then.
Yeah, I'm closer towards the Mississippi River now.
But no state's as flat as North Dakota. You that eastern half of North Dakota. That's why when the Red River floods, it has nowhere to go because it's all flat.
Iowa's actually kind of hilly. I'm assuming you've probably been to Iowa before, but it's a lot of up and down where I'm from. It's like you'll go up a hill and then you live at the bottom of the hill and then you go back up. It's a ton of up and downs. It's all.
But North Dakota, it's just as flat as an ironing board.
Mac, Mac, just want to give you a little update. I got about 10 minutes left before I got to go.
All right, yeah, we got to.
So what do you think of the Bills wide receiver situation?
Obviously with Stephon Diggs leaving, I think it's big, but they still have Gabe Davis.
No, they got.
You're right. You're right. All right, you're right. I read that. So then, who do they have left? Do they have Knox left?
Knox, Shakir, Kincaid. Keon Coleman. The sleeper, I think, is going to be Curtis Samuels because he's never had a good quarterback.
No.
I forgot about the Gabe Davis thing.
Well, they ain't missing much with Davis.
Yeah.
And Diggs at the last half of the year, he was worthless.
Are you a Bills fan?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like watching Josh Allen play football.
I remember I got to go when he played in college. He played at Wyoming, and I got to watch Iowa played Wyoming in 2017, and I went to the game. And I remember watching Josh Allen in Iowa. Obviously, they played just defense, so they won like 17-7 against Josh Allen's team or whatever. But I mean, he's just an excellent quarterback. I mean, the way he's one of those intelligent quarterbacks that can see the field differently.
Yeah, he does see the field, but I like it when he takes off running because he's got no brains. It's just run for that line.
Well, hey, guys, if you give us just a few minutes, we got to hear a word from our sponsors.
All righty.
And we got to cut to commercial. So, guys, we will be right back in a short minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a quick break. Now we're back, and we're better than ever. Why? Because we have the Cowboy Robert Wilson here with us.
Don't forget Landon.
And Landon, and AJ, and Nevada, and the whole universe that sets around us ourselves. It's all positive energy here. But Landon's got something cool to show us, and we're ready to see it.
Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna pull this up here quickly. Hold on, just let me get this here. I'm just gonna share screen here. I just gotta pull it up on my Google Drive. I just want to explain quickly before I start. So I've always been interested in motivational speaking. I mean, I'm only 14, but when I was in 5th grade, I got transferred classes mid-year, and in the last day before I got transferred, I gave a speech. And after that, I've just been so inspired to write quotes, and not just that, but to give speeches. And so on the last day of every grade since 5th grade, so just the last 4 years, I gave a speech. And this year was a very special one. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So this one was a very special one this year. So it's 11 minutes. I probably won't be able to, unless you guys want to see the whole video, it would take a hot minute. But I started off by, I made my own video about my about just what I've gone through in the last 2 years with moving to Colorado. So I'll show you a little bit of the video, and then I'll just kind of skip through the speech a little bit. I have some good points. So let's show
He's in the hall. He's gonna make an entrance.
So many times when we ask ourselves, why do we do this? What is the point? We hate how we look. We don't feel accepted. So remember when we were little, when we didn't feel pressure of being loved.
Why is this so inspirational?
Instead, that my darkest moment being a person because the race is not one of the fastest to the one who never gives up. But persevering isn't an easy task. Continue to believe, because the one that believes shall succeed. Never be satisfied, because there's always going to be. And when you get to release yourself, you will see the greatness of friendship, love, joy, and most importantly,
This is so sad.
have fun, make mistakes, and love.
He takes a lot of photos.
Boast in the hope, the glory of God. Not only so, but also in the glory of our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character.
He's out there.
I want to thank all you guys for coming out to Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Over 2,000 years ago, many followers of Jesus Christ came to see him. It was called Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. People asked, where is Jesus of Nazareth? They wanted to see his teachings. They wanted to see his life-changing moments. And Jesus came to that Sermon on the Mount. And he changed everybody's life. He taught people things that they had never learned, that they had never heard. He told them, if your neighbor hits you on your left cheek, let them hit you on your right cheek. Back then, people had only known of hate, and no one had ever heard of this love and this kindness that Jesus has shown to the servant. And Jesus came and he changed people's lives, and they went out and they made the religion of Christianity. And today, I'm here to give my Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And instead of being on a mountain, I'm here in this classroom to present to you guys today. It's not easy to describe what I've gone through in these past 2 years. I've moved all the way from Iowa. I have made so many new friends, but most importantly, I have found the power of love and joy through my teachers, through my friends, through my religion, through my life. I remember the first day of school here at Altona, just over 2 years ago. I remember how small I was. I remember the feeling of being new, and it was scary, and I didn't know if I could do it. But I knew that I had this power that no one else had, because I had the power of God in myself. And I had the power to do whatever I wanted to, because God loves me. And back then, I wasn't as close as how I am with my religion right now. I remember I used to not always go to church back then. I used to not always be as religiously connected. It just didn't feel right. And it just didn't feel like people loved me. But then, one day, in the middle of the winter, my mom tells me that I would be receiving my next sacrament.
Let's give a little bit more, guys.
To the Holy Spirit, maybe I would just get a gift of the Holy Spirit. But then things just changed after that. I remember I went to a religious retreat called Mountain Madness that weekend, and I remember we had this adoration period where everybody was just in this room and we were all just praying. And I just remember feeling God just telling me, I am here for you, Landon. I love you. And I am here to benefit for you. I am here to profit for you. And I am here for you. And I remember I just started crying. And I don't cry much. I'm not a big crier. And I just remember sitting there and I just was like, man, where has my religion been this whole time? Where has been this love? Where has been this joy in my life? And I just never could find that. And I finally found it. And it just absolutely changed my life after that. And I remember I went to school the next week and my life forever changed. I felt like I was someone. When I grew up in Iowa, I always felt like my friends, they didn't care. I mean, he was so fulfilling. He, on the second day of school, comes up and talks to me. He has no clue who this kid is. He has no clue who this man is. But something called Jaden to be in this friendship with me. And I remember he invited me to go and hang out with him after that second day. And I just
let's give it to the end.
And I embrace it. And it's going to be tough. There's going to be times where I want to give up. As I showed in my video, there's going to be times when I do not love what's going on in my life, but I know that God is going to give me a second chance, and that God is going to do whatever he can to benefit from my life. And this is what I find is so amazing, is that, ladies and gentlemen, find what you love. I am passionate through my religion. I have grown strength through my religion. Find what you love. It can be whatever you want, but there is something out there calling you and saying your name, that this is what you are destined to do. This is who you are. This is who you are destined to be. I mean, middle school is such a crazy time, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone through so many emotions. I mean, if you would look at me on the first day of 6th grade compared to now, we have just grown so much. I'm sure all you guys feel the same way. There is such just a different feeling. There is hope now. I didn't feel like I could be something. And now, here I am. Thank you, Dale. And I'm just so grateful for all the blessings I've gone through with all my friendships, with everything, because nothing's perfect. And we've learned through middle school. I mean, middle school is one of the number one times that people are insecure when they don't feel good about themselves. But towards the end of middle school and towards the beginning of high school, we start feeling less and less insecure, and we start feeling more confident about ourselves. Because, ladies and gentlemen, after the bell rings today at 3:40, and after we come to the celebration, this is people are going to go off into different schools. And this is what I love about it. In Iowa, you go to the same school with people. There's no school choice. You go to the same elementary school, then the same high, the same high school, and then you leave them. And it's just like you never get new opportunities. You never get new chances. You never get new blessings to find new people. And here, we have been gifted with the chance of a fresh start. Personally, I'm really excited I get to go to Niwot next year to build new friendships with other people. And that is something that I'm so excited about. And I just think what is the most amazing thing about life is when you grow up because you can do whatever you want. And there's so many opportunities like that. And there's one that is definitely calling your name. But this is an end of an era today. Today, a lot of you guys might be going to the same school. A lot of you guys might be continuing to go to the school with people that you've known since elementary school. For a couple of you guys, maybe I'm going to go back to school with people that you used to go with in elementary school. But wherever you go, I hope the path leads you to the same place, a place where I will be one day, heaven. And that's where I hope we meet again. And I want to thank everyone for making me feel like I actually matter. And Mr. Krieger, Jaden, and everyone else on this world, I love you guys to death. And thank you. Amen.
Landon, that was awesome, dude.
That was really good, Landon.
I really liked that. That was great.
Yeah, it was a long speech, but I really enjoyed doing it, guys. I mean, obviously, I'm only 14, so there's plenty of time to improve with my speaking. There's plenty of time to improve just everything I say. But I think just my main point, and I'm gonna have to go in a couple minutes, guys. But I just want to
Hey, Landon, have you ever heard of Toastmasters?
No.
Toastmasters teaches you how to speak.
Toastmasters.
It's just a group of people, but they show you how to speak. You get to speak in front of people, and they're gonna teach you how to speak.
I think I have, and I think we've talked about this, is that, like, I think I've talked about it with Mac a lot, is that, like, when you're little, there is so much, and when you're younger, there's so much potential for everyone. And what I tell my classmates when I use that, like, everybody in this world is called to do something. I believe that, God, and that on this earth, we are being called to do something. And I know obviously you guys now as adults have figured out hopefully what is your calling. But I believe that when we're younger, you can figure out the signs of what you're being called to do. And I don't know if you guys look back on your childhood and you guys see those signs in your childhood, but I definitely, obviously I haven't grown up, but I definitely
every day
to, what did I see the signs of what I'm going to be? Did I end up becoming a sports broadcaster? Did I end up becoming a basketball coach? What did I end up doing? And that's really what I think is going to change everything.
Yeah. Landon, just to go with you, we weren't born down here just to work for what we do. We were sent to this earth to raise it out of where it was to peace and prosperity. We just hit a brick wall with what I call it ancestor anchors, but you're absolutely right. We were sent here to raise this world to peace.
And I think, also when, like I said, like my job, and I believe that what I'm being called on earth is that God put me on this earth so that I could not only change the world, but so I could spread love to everyone, and I can show people kindness, and I can try to inspire people as much as I can. Because like you said, there is so much hate out in the world right now. People run this world on hate, on people feed off hate. People don't feel good about themselves, and then then they go and try to make other people feel bad. It's like this disease of hate being spread, but I want to spread the disease of love. What love isn't a disease, it's beautiful. So yeah.
And see, what people got to remember, war is not to settle disputes. War is big money. That's a enterprise. It's an actual business. And the people that control the world make their money off of war. And
Sorry, Robert. I gotta get going, guys. Thanks for having me on the show tonight, guys. I'll hopefully.
Thanks for joining us, Landon.
I know I could only
Yeah,
do
Yeah,
5 minutes.
Landon enjoyed it very much.
Yep.
Landon,
I
we'll
hope
see you
to meet
tomorrow
you
night.
and AJ and Mac. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. We'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
So
And then there were 3.
yeah.
That's a
Then there were
wise
3
young man
Cowboys
there.
left.
The kid's
Yes,
only
it is.
14 years
You know.
old, and he is so brilliant. I mean, if you listen to just not only what he did, what was it last week, and then you listen to the recaps he had given on our show, he's so knowledgeable. You know, and at 14 years old to know that much about sports, I mean, the kid has endless potential.
Yeah. Tell you what,
I think kids like that have very bright futures. That's what
he does.
also.
And the thing about the national sports shows, I shouldn't probably say this, but that's the most racist bunch there is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Stephen A. Smith is the most racist sports analyst I've ever seen.
Ryan Clark's right there with you.
Ryan Clark is too. Yes, he is.
You know, Robert, Mac and I were just talking about this very recently. Why is it that every sport you look at and look, I am not racist by any means, but when you look at sports, literally 95% of every single sport is black people. I mean, very rarely do you see a white person sport, and those are usually hockey and baseball
And rodeo.
and rodeo. I mean, other than that, I'll be honest. Other than that, I can't think of an actual white sports team or white sport.
Well, you know, talking about racism, last year Josh Allen had better numbers, but he had more interceptions than Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson got the MVP.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, and they always say, "Well, he's just better." I said, "No, Josh Allen's he's a good white athlete. He ain't gonna ever win the MVP."
You know, and I say this all the time because when it comes to racism, there's a very big misconception. Martin Luther King had asked for equality, not reverse discrimination. Right now, we're living in a world of reverse discrimination where and again, I am not racist by any means, but when you look at history, the black people, they still play the racism card when they don't get what they want, and they feel like they are entitled. And it's like, no. If you look at Martin Luther King, who was a black gentleman, he stood up there and said he wanted equality. That was his dream, was for equality, for whites and blacks to get along as equals. And we're living in a world where we went from a white-dominated world straight into black domination, where it's the blacks dominating. It's all about them. Where was the equality that he had asked for?
Yeah, and the one that's really getting bad is that other one bunch. But the thing about it is,
Yep.
If you really want to know who's getting discriminated against, it's a white heterosexual male.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, racism isn't in the world. Racism's inside people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can't have the physical world can't have nothing.
Right.
It's inside people. And you know, everybody wants reparations for this.
You're not born a racist. You're taught it. It's taught to you.
You want to know how to make peace in the world?
Take
all the old people, take everybody over 5 years old, put them over in a fence corner, let the kids take over. You'll have peace. Because they won't be taught to hate.
Well, no,
parents teach hate to their kids.
Well, yeah, peace that way, but as far as like running around everywhere.
But they can't come out till them kids are 21, 22 years old. Can't talk to them.
if you let the kids run the world, we'd be having war. It wouldn't be war on drugs; it'd be war on crayons.
And candy.
It'd be war. And chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And look, they'd be going to war in different countries about chocolate milk.
I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what peace looks like. That's peace.
Yes, it is.
It is not peace when she's screaming and hollering and keeping me awake between her and her puppy.
Oh, yeah. What kind of puppy?
I'd say he's a Pomeranian and Husky mix, and I tell you, I love him to death. But he is, we figured, castrating that little motherfucker would do the trick, but apparently he just made him worse, and he's fighting me for it. I didn't pay to have him taken. I didn't even physically go in there and take him, although I've thought about it, and if I would have done it, I would have just taken the whole pit. But I'll tell you what, he sure as hell doesn't mind making me feel for it. I'm the one being tortured.
You're guilty no matter what.
Yep.
But anyway, it's an interesting thing what the world is right now. And you know what's really sad? The people that are supposed to be leading us, they can't.
I feel like even the Most High and not like as in the Most High, like the man himself, but the so-called leaders of this country are supposed to be helping the country get better. They're supposed to lead the country for better things. They're supposed to lead the country for equality and all that stuff, but there's none of that. It's all a bunch of BS and lies, and that's all it is. That's all it is.
You know, it's pretty bad when you got congressmen making $1 million a month off of the stock market, making the laws so they can get it.
Well,
But that ain't insider trading.
Well, I'll tell you something. And to tend to go back at what we were talking about before, where the world can't have nothing. It ends up being the people. And we talked about racism. I mean, the world is, and one of my favorite quotes. We all know it, I'm sure, from Rocky 6. Rocky talking to his son. And I wish I could memorize it because I take that quote as gospel. He talks about the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and nasty place, and it'll beat you down to your knees if you let it and keep you there permanently. I sit there and I think about that. It's like, there's a lot of truth behind that. But when you look at the people in the world specifically, we touched on how racism, it's a choice. It's not something you're born with. That's the same thing with the ABC community, because they got so many letters anymore that I call them the ABC community. And Mac knows that my feelings on that, without going into a full-blown tangent. Contrary to popular belief, sexual preference is a choice. It is not something you were born with. By you going out there and saying, "Oh well, I'm a man trapped in a woman's body," or vice versa, you are questioning God and telling everybody that God made a mistake. And as we all know, God doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, and see, I don't know. I've worked around some of them people. Oh, they're hard to work with.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, you Detroit Lions fan, Mac?
We are no, I'm not. So coach football. We coach youth flag football, and we're sponsored by the Lions. And
going for that championship for the spring this season. Let's do it.
Going for number 4.
Good for you. But the thing about all this, what we're talking about, The outside world can do nothing for us. It's all people got to do it for themselves.
Yeah. I mean, these problems in the world are most certainly caused by the people. And if people would choose not to hate, and look, I get it, that's a lot easier said than done. A lot easier said than done. I get it. But if we choose to come together rather than to let the hate consume and just stew in it, the world itself would be a much better place because it's the people in the world that make the world what it is,
Yes.
not the other way around.
Yes. And I made a class a couple weeks ago called the Ancestor Jailbreak. It talks about everything we still live our ancestors' mindsets. And actually, since somebody wrote a bunch of stuff, the school system actually teaches a third world enslaving mindset.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why is the school system even teaching things like that? We need to teach to
Well, it's a natural thing, but it comes from the people that wrote the curriculum from the school system. And we've been, if you basically look at a lot of it, we're using the same books they did in the 1800s, just written different.
Oh yeah.
I went to Kohl's. Andrew, I think I told you this. I went when I went to Kohl's, and I had to use the bathroom. And well, yeah. So I went to Kohl's a couple of weeks ago after my doctor's appointment. It was pouring down rain, so I was like, "Yep, I'm not about to drive home in the rain. I'm just going to wait it out." So I went in Kohl's and walked around, and it was like I had to use the bathroom. So I walked to the back, and I was like, "Yep, I'm not using the bathroom." All the bathrooms were all gender bathrooms, and I was like, "I'm not about to go in there and you know what I'm saying?" I just think it's
Well, in the public, it's a man and a woman. To me, it's men and women.
Yep.
yeah.
And if you want to have an all gender bathroom, have 3 of them.
Well, I mean, you got family bathrooms. You know what
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but the family bathrooms are for
families.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, number one, if you're a man, you go to the man's bathroom. There's a woman, you go to the woman's bathroom. If you're a family, you go in there with your child, whether it's to change a diaper, whatever the case. If you need a family bathroom, you know what I mean. That's it.
Yes. But we're so.
No, go ahead, Robert. I apologize.
No, you're doing good. And the biggest lie in the world right now is the climate change. It ain't happening. It's a fallacy.
Oh no.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I agree. No, I totally agree with you. Yeah. No.
You know what's fun? I was watching a congressional hearing, and one of the congressmen asked all the so-called environmentalists on Biden's cabinet,
Yeah.
how much carbon dioxide's in the Earth's atmosphere? One will say, well, 3, 4, 5, 7. What is it? Well, I don't know. Well, say something. Well, they all went right around 5%. And he says it's 0.04%. We're 0.011% of that carbon dioxide. And if carbon dioxide don't stay at 0.02, plants die. You want to stop carbon dioxide? Plant more trees.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is.
But if
Go ahead.
It's like, and I was just telling this to my kids the other day. I'm like, It's nice that they put new things in, but to put new things in, they're killing our oxygen.
Yes.
No,
You
you
know-
know those bugs though that apparently kill the I guess the plants or the nature, the atmosphere, or something. Those you call them lantern bugs or something. You know, and they say that they're hard to kill. You can't really kill them. And you know, I'll tell you what, that's furthest from the truth because there's been times that I've had plenty of chances to kill them, and I've maybe even killed a few. But at the same time, it's like the world is still. I mean, people try to predict on when the world is going to come to an end, and here's the thing: you can't really have an accurate prediction on that because that's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's not up to Mac. It's not up to anybody that's walking the earth. It's only up to one person, and that's God. He will decide how, when, where, and what is going to ultimately say, okay, it's the end of times.
And yeah, you're right. But people get so wound up in it, but I liked it. I'm watching this video reel, and when they went to the one, there was going to be a concert out in the middle of. They had to go up the desert, a highway out in the desert, and they blocked it. In come the Indian sheriffs. He just pushed that off the road.
Oh God!
They didn't care. They just took what they had blocking the road and pushed it off the road. They didn't treat them protesters right. They treated them right.
Yeah.
The thing is, you got a right to protest, but you got no right to stop 40 miles of traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
And
All right, guys.
Go
Sorry
ahead.
to cut you off there.
You
I'm
did.
saying, sorry to cut you all off there. Quick word from our sponsors, real quick.
And then we got to start wrapping up here because
Yeah, we're about to be over airtime for
Fun
Tuesday.
quits too quick, don't it?
oh yeah. And Robert, before sponsors, Robert.
No, go ahead. You just run your show. I'm fine with however you got to do it.
Well, we just want you to stick around after the show for a few minutes. We'd like to talk to you about some stuff.
All righty.
Guys, if you're looking for a book to read, The Almighty Voyage is one to check out on all platforms. Spotify, Amazon. Heck, go check out his Facebook page. The author Poseidon, one of the greatest authors, great friend of mine, good family member, and
And if you don't want to read it, for the love of God, put in your earpiece and just listen to it. You get a narrator, you get the whole story without even having to read it.
you get background music, you get it all. You know,
everything. It's amazing what technology can do for you.
guys, if you're looking for self-defense, I know the best. I know the best guy. His name is Peter Hodgman. He lives in Chicago.
Yep, and he will teach you. And he does virtual, and he will teach you from inside the womb all the way to in the casket. And for the love of God, if you are in a nursing home, that does not mean take your self-defense and go beat the hell and go just complete ham on the workers and the nurses that are trying to take care of you.
Yeah, like at your wife's job.
Yeah. Just that's why it's self-defense, not going ham on the people that are taking care of you. But,
guys, if you're looking for merch, Ball Club merch is the best merch out there. Better than Nike, better than Adidas, better than everything else. And you want to know why? Because for a good price, you can get cups, mugs, shirts, hats, whatever you want. If you want an outfit, $25, you get a shirt and a pair of Ball Club pants. If you want a hat, shirt, and pants, we'll do $25 as well. Why? Because we're not the outrageous priced stuff that we like to wear.
Guys. That's why, because we love you guys.
And another thing, guys, we are running low on the show merch. Here is one of the last shirts. There's maybe about 6 more shirts. We still have them in all sizes.
So if you want show merch, same thing. We got shirts, hats, mugs, everything. You guys want some of our merch? Go check us out, or just put
email
it
us for the catalog.
Absolutely. That
And last but not least,
if you want personalized, if you want something that has been on the show, you want autograph, you want whatever it is, something that was a show used, just send a request and we will hook you guys up. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
and if you want the great Cowboys, John Hancock,
Right down there.
he's right here. He's right here. It'd be one to add to your collection. I must say.
Whether it's a signed cowboy hat or a rodeo robe, whatever it is, go check him out. And his email will be in the description, just like our email as well. Is that it for us, Mac?
I think so.
Alrighty, so now we know how to end the show. So let's throw it up there. And if it ain't sweet,
It ain't tasty. It's now.
So Robert, thank you so much for being on the show. Then we're gonna do the outro, and then please stick around for a few minutes afterwards. If that's all right, if you don't mind. Other than that,
I'm fine. Yeah.
Other than that, everybody who has joined us today or tonight.
Hey, give me one second, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show here.
Right.
Open the door. It's Christian.
So two sweet dresses out of here, and check us out on The Block 105 Radio. That is on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Until then, we don't want to see you until then. Two sweet dresses on out of here. Catch you on down the road. We love you. Be good. Stay safe. Mac.
Now, the only thing that's left to do is hit our dang music.